Hey everyone, hope you're all doing great. I'm just excited to start this machine learning project series. In this video, I'm going to discuss about health insurance price prediction. If you're a beginner who is struggling to do any machine learning project, then this video is for you. Always start with a project title, which is in health insurance price prediction, and give an image. And then start with a problem statement, which many people don't give it. Always try to write the problem statement regarding what problem, what issue you are trying to solve with the help of this project. Imagine two individuals who are the same age, living in the same city, but one is a smoker with high BMI, while other is the one who maintains healthy lifestyle. Now the question is, will they get same medical insurance cost or not? Absolutely no, right? So at many insurance providers struggle to estimate the cost fairly and accurately. They are using outdated methods. Now it's a time for us to rethink how we can assess risk, calculate premiums, and bring a transparency, right? And next important thing is like an object which defines a goal. Goal means telling like what we're gonna do in this project. This project aims to build smart data-driven predictive model using medical insurance cost based on a range of factors like age, BMI, smoking habits. Using power of machine learning, we're not just predicting numbers, but we are helping companies to better understand risk, individuals to understand how healthy lifestyle will influence the insurance premium. Data description is very important. Many people don't do this. Mention from where you are taking data, how many rows, what are the different columns you have in your data. So that comes under a data description. Always try to mention this as a part of your project. And also try to understand, is it a supervised or unsupervised project? Since it has both input and output, I can say it belongs to a supervised learning. And we are predicting continuous target variable price. So it's a regression problem. Okay, this understanding is very important. Next important stuff is like, start with importing basic libraries, like import NumPy as NP, then import pandas as PD. PD, NumPy, NP are all, aliases that we are giving, short names. And then import matplotlib.pyplot as PLT, and then import Seaborn as SNS, that's a short name. And then I'm trying to import one more library like, warning. Usually sometimes a Python code just gives unnecessary warnings. I just want to avoid them. So use import warnings, warnings dot filter warnings, and just say to ignore so that you don't see any more warnings. Okay, so here NumPy is used for analyzing arrays, pandas for dealing with data frames, matplotlib and Seaborn is used for visualization, and warnings is used to ignore the warnings. Okay, that's the first step. So once you import basic libraries, like what you have to do, you have to load a data set. First, you have to upload data into a Google Colab. Just click on our files and click on upward arrow and select our data insurance.csv. Open it. Once you upload data, you have to load the same data into a Google Colab. So in order to load any CSV file, we just use pd.read_csv. To load our Excel file, we use pd.read_excel. Here, since it's a CSV file, comma separated file, use data equals pd.read_csv insurance.csv, and printer data, it's going to display data which is available inside insurance file. Once you load a data, understanding variables is very important. We call it like a domain analysis. Many people are from different domain. Whenever you take up data, just do some research on what each variable is representing. What is age here? What type of data it is? What is the gender column is representing? What categories you have? What is the body mass index? What is the range? How many children we have here? What are the smoker? I mean, like, are people a smoker or non-smoker represented like yes, no? And people are from different regions, that what region is representing and what does charge represent. It's a medical cost billed to the individual by health insurance provider, right? So understanding each variable helps in knowing, which feature influence your insurance cost. So that helps in feature engineering and pre-processing. Next step is, you need to perform a basic checks to understand the data better. First step is like, what if I need to find number of rows and columns? Use a shape. Data.shape tells you number of rows and column. There are 1338 rows and 7 columns. What if I need to print all columns? Just use data.columns. It's going to print you all the columns. See, you can see list of column names. Next important thing, what if I need to print the first 5 rows? Just use a head function. Head by default gives you, data.head gives you first 5 rows. What if you want a specific rows? Just mention a number within a bracket. Okay, similarly, just opposite of head is a tail. What if you want last 5 rows, or what if you want specific rows from last? Just use a tail. Data.tail by default gives a 5 rows. If you want specific rows, mention that number within a bracket. That's how tail is going to work. Next important thing is like, what if I need to check data type of each column? In that case, we just use data.dtypes. Dtypes is responsible for finding data type of each column. In data types, we have 4 different types. Integer, for decimal, we call it like a float 64. For text kind of data, it's an object. If there is a date, it shows like a date. Okay, and there is next function, which is info. Info is responsible for telling how much memory it's consuming. And it gives you column names, how many non-null values, and all this information you get it from an info function. Once you check our info, what if I need to print only the numerical column? This is useful for analyzing data. Just use select underscore data and say include equals integer 64 and a float 64. Okay, and just assign some variable to it like numerical column and then try to print it. So it just gives you all the numerical column which includes integer values and a float values. Okay, this is how you print a numerical columns. You can see these are the columns. Similarly, what if you need to print a categorical column? In that case, you can use the same code. You just need to modify simple changes. Include is equal to object, because categorical column is a column which has a text kind of data. Okay, so same code, data.select dtypes, include is equal to object, which is going to help you in finding columns which has a different categories. So it's giving all the columns. Okay, this is all about printing numerical and categorical column. Next important thing that you need to understand is we have 2 more functions, unique and a value count. Let's come to a unique function. Unique is responsible for finding unique values in your data. Unique values in the sense, let's say you want to understand what are the unique values available in your data. Let's say in a categorical column, you want to find unique categories. I'm just using for loop to loop through all the categorical columns. For x in categorical column dot column gives you a list of columns and we are looping. So these are the different columns comes under category. Now I'm calling that columns from a data of x dot unique. Unique is a function which is responsible for giving unique values in each categorical column. See, in a gender column, we have male, female. In smoker, we have as no. In a region, we have a different regions. So this is how unique function is useful in finding unique categories in a categorical column. Okay, next important thing is like, what if I need to find value counts? Value count is pretty much same, similar to your unique only, but you just need to change value count. What this value count gives? It gives you count of unique values. It gives you unique values, okay, and tells you like how many values are there related to that. How many male, how many female, how many smokers, how many non-smoker. That is a value count. It just gives you count of each category. This is all about, unique function as well as a value count function. Next important thing is, what if I need to perform a statistical analysis on a numerical column? We just use a function called as a describe. Since we are performing for numerical column, include integer 64 and a float 64. That gives you statistical report on a numerical column. It gives a count, tells count how many values, mean, average value, standard deviation, variation between two things, minimum value, percentile, 25th value, 50th value, 75th value, and also maximum value. And one more interesting thing that you get to know here is, what if standard deviation is 0? We consider that column as a constant column. Okay, and along with that, what if in case in your data, if minimum age is 0, then you will understand, okay, something is wrong in your data and you have to correct them. Okay, that's how this describe function basically helps you in understanding statistical terms. Same thing, you can apply it on a categorical columns as well. Same code, data.describe, you just need to include object. So what this object does, it just gives you statistical report like count, how many unique values you have, top category, like most frequently occurring value, and then what is the frequency of it, how many male, how many no, how many southeast, like that. It just gives you count. Okay, and the next important thing is like, what if you want to find the missing values? Missing values are nothing but empty values. Usually in our data there can be empty values and it's represented like a nan or a null, not a number. Okay, how to find that? We just use a code data.isNull.sum. Data.isNull.sum is responsible for printing all columns and corresponding missing values. So clearly in our data, no missing values. Next thing is a duplicates. How do you find duplicates? Duplicates are nothing but repetitive values. So repetitive values in the sense, if any repetitive rows are there, how do you find it? Data.duplicated. Sorry, it should be data.duplicated.sum. Tells you how many duplicates you have. You have just one duplicate. This is all about, understanding problem statement and exploring variables using different basic checks. You can also write insights regarding like what did you find, like no missing values, and we found only one duplicate. So stay tuned for more such videos. In our next video, let's explore rest of the things.